autumn seems to be coming really, really quickly and very early. A lot of the trees are just sort of going yellow and going their autumn colours, and a lot of them kind of look like they would normally look in September, October. And if you look up here, these silver birch trees behind here, they've normally still growing till at least the first week in September, but here they're looking very thin, leaves all turning yellow and dropping off, and the hawthorn trees up here are sort of going yellow. The hawthorns on Dartmoor and Bodmin Moor have pretty much lost their leaves completely, where they're much more exposed. And over there, like a bird cherry, all the leaves are red and they're just nearly all dropped off completely. And near it over there, you've got the wild pear. You can see lots of leaves going yellow and red there and dropping off. And it seems to be most trees are doing this now. The only ones that aren't really doing this are like this oak tree here. The oaks are really deep taproots, and of course this one's next to a pond, so it's got plenty of water and the leaves are all nice and green. So it's got to be drought related. And some people are saying, is it because there's going to be a really harsh winter, suddenly the weather's going to change and it's going to be storms and then frost and stuff. But the long-term projected forecast, which they're not always very accurate, those ones, but the current forecast is for a mild autumn and a mild winter, and remaining quite dry for quite a lot longer, which is the odd bit of low pressure, the odd storm, just like we've had for the last kind of year and a half of this very, very prolonged dry weather. Really everything's low, the rivers are low, the ponds are low, the water table's low, so there's just much less water, and that seems to be the root cause of the problem. It's not just the wild trees, it's like everything really, garden plants, meadowland plants, blackberries came really early this year, they're almost over now, and the fruit on the trees is all coming really early. Some of the apples have been ready in like mid-August, which I've never had before. There are quite a lot of apples this year, but they are noticeably smaller. This one, the Limelight, and normally they're kind of big fruit like this, the Limelight, but here they're just really, really small, but there's still kind of a lot of them, but they're also coming much, much earlier. This phenomenon with the apples and pears all coming early and not being very big, it looks like they're rushing to avoid an impending freezing cold winter, but really I think it is just lack of water and too much heat. The heat's brought them on sooner, and the lack of water has stopped them being able to grow to their full size. But at least we've got a nice crop here, and this is Berry Alexander Lucas pear. This is a really early one, but they're still not ready. I don't think they're a bit hard, but they're going all nice colour, so they won't be long. In fact, I was tempted to try one of those. I might try one of those later. And here's Cox's Orange Pippin, and they usually come a bit later because of September, some years October. And they are looking really red, but they are still fairly firm, but I wouldn't be surprised if they ripen soon as well. Again, very small. And then behind, the Scrumptious tree, which didn't have very many, if any, last year. This year it's got loads, but they're about half the size. So yeah, the culprit is the dry weather. There are a few less kind of fungal diseases on the apples this year. I don't think they like this kind of weather either, but apples do rely on a certain degree of warmth, but they do like quite a lot of regular rainfall as well to have decent sized fruit. Normally at this time of year, it's still kind of August, it's like summer. Normally at this time of year, you've got still things flowering in hedgerows and quite a lot of wildflowers putting on second flushes of flowers. And this year, everything seems to be dying back early. But yeah, I do not believe this is because of any necessary impending severe winter. What I tend to think it is just simply the lack of water and how hot it's been. Everything's all done what it's going to do, but it hasn't got enough water to do everything and keep going. So they've got going into an early hibernation. A bit like the monsoon forests that you get around the world, usually either side of the equator. In the equator, you have like an area which is like tropical jungle, and then either side of it, you have an area where you have a dry season and a wet season. And during the dry season, even though it's very, very hot, their hottest time of the year, the trees lose their leaves. They're like deciduous. And all the trees look like are winter because there's no water and they just lose the leaves. And then when the rainy season comes again, then they grow the leaves back. So it's kind of like that, really. It's just nature's way of adapting to this very, very dry conditions. And normally, summer in Britain, it rains most of the time, but the last few years have been very dry. This year in particular, we have had little bits of rain, just enough to water the ground, but not enough to sort of go into the water table. And that's all sort of led to this kind of just lack of any kind of water and any kind of available moisture. And the plants are sort of just giving up. It's too dry this year. We're going to just go kind of dormant, and that conserves their energy because like leaves lose water, you know, they transpire, they lose water. So this is all about kind of saving energy. Long-term forecast for the autumn and winter is actually milder than usual and remaining kind of dry, although they do feel that at some point the low pressure will take over and maybe we'll have like a wet year. I think everyone expects it to turn over and balance, but it doesn't necessarily kind of do that. At least we've not been as hot as southern Europe, but it's been unbearably kind of hot a lot this year. It looks like we're going to get another mild winter like last year at the moment, because these long-term forecasts are very difficult to predict. There is a hurricane going off in America at the moment, which is missing the mainland, and they think it's going to eventually turn into a tropical storm and affect us and affect our weather, bringing lots of low pressure. That could happen sometimes when they have hurricane season over there. We then just get lots and lots of rain. That's a possibility. So maybe we will get some wet weather, but it looks a bit like a false promise at the moment. It's just been so dry for so long, and every time they've said it's going to have a decent amount of rain, it just hasn't been. But it would be kind of nice. Our pond has kind of held up to this dry weather really, really well. Every time we do get a little bit of a storm, it catches all the rainwater, and it has held up really, really good. And we've had not run out of water or even come close. So it's gone down just over a foot, this one. So what is going to happen then? Are the leaves all going to fall off the trees really early? It's sort of difficult to say. Normally at this time of year, it's only a few types of trees, rowan and beech, that start turning a little bit yellow in August, and that normally just lingers, and they still don't lose the leaves till October, November. This year it looks a bit different. The rate that the trees are turning yellow is kind of increasing. I would suggest that if there suddenly is a lot of rain, then the trees might even just put on some growth and stop losing their leaves. If it carries on like it is, then we might get a leaf fall way, way more early than ever before this year. But next year they'll all come back to normal, even though the trees are losing their leaves. Here, this hazel tree, you can see there's little catkins for next year there, little leaf buds. So they're all prepared for next spring. It's just like a defense mechanism. They're just sort of just withholding their energy, and hopefully things will be back to normal next year. So yeah, I hope you liked today's video. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you press the little me, which is somewhere down here, then you can see all my other videos and shorts. And if you have any questions, please ask. And I shall see you next time.